What do you think a stereotype is?
A stereotype is when there are these preconceived notions and beliefs about certain races and religions.
A stereotype? Isn't it when somebody has like a preconceived notion of like a particular group of people and they use that kind of notion to kind of characterize that group of people?
Something that other people use or say to group a group of people?
Just assuming something about an opposite race or culture, that they have a specific thing that they might do.
A stereotype is like when you like.
A stereotype is a label that we put on a certain group of people or individuals, such as race or their culture or sex.
A stereotype is an assumption about someone based on how they look.
African American. Minorities, I think.
It's a lot of like Asian, Indian.
Anyone who isn't white or a guy.
That we're smart at math, chinky, and that we're nerdy and geeky.
Asian people are smart.
Yeah, that they're smart.
You guys are smart.
The one that I hear the most probably is like nerdy.
We know how to do math.
Naturally gifted at math and science.
They're the most hardworking, or they're just like they were born with like innate intelligence or something like that.
Asians are smart and they uphold a standard that they should do well in school or math or whatever.
Why do people think what they think about Asians?
Probably because they're exposed to a certain number of Asians who are in those categories, so they assume that everyone else is too.
I think people think that Asian people are smart because they don't see like everything behind the scenes. So like Asian people are perceived to be smart because they work hard, maybe because their parents push them to be that way.
I think people think this way just because like there are like certain studies that like Asian people like win like intellectual competitions and that kind of stuff, like math competitions, like blah blah blah.
It has to come from somewhere, right? And it's just easy, I guess. Like, I mean, if you go in this library, you'll see a lot of international students playing video games, but so it's easy to like point it out that way. I also feel like there's not that much mingling between like international students and like, people from here. Why do you think people think this way?
I honestly think it's, I mean, I'm not saying it's right, but I think there's an evolutionary objective to it. Our brains are trained to pass judgments on certain things. So, like, let's say, you know, I pass judgment, I go down to a lower income area and, you know, I automatically assume that I'm going to get robbed by an African American, but most likely that's not the case. But you know, like the media will present that way, to me that way, so I'll make it in for survival, you know, to keep myself safe. I'll immediately lodge that stereotype in my head. But fortunately, we're conscious of our own being, and we're conscious that we will die one day, so we're intelligent enough to get past those stereotypes.
I think it has to do with like the representation that Asian Americans get in our media. They're always portrayed as people that are just like really intelligent and like sometimes have like weird like social ability, but also I think it has to do with the fact that like in schools we do see like that some like Asian students do kind of sometimes like excel more than us, like other minorities, and I think it has to do with maybe like the collectivist culture that Asian Americans come from. Yeah, but I don't think it's all based on fact. I think it has mostly to do with stereotypes.
There are these people that kind of live up to these stereotypes, but like with all races, not all of them is going to be true. And with all stereotypes, not all are going to be true.
I just feel like it doesn't really apply to everyone.
A lot of Asians do get good grades, but that doesn't mean that other races don't either, and that doesn't specifically mean that all Asians get good grades. It's just a label in a lot of the things that we see, but that's not necessarily true?
Probably a lot of reasons, but the one I've heard recently that I thought was really interesting was that people use the stereotype of Asians to use it against other minority groups. So like if Asian people can succeed in America, it's kind of the fault of like other minorities that they're not necessarily succeeding in America.
Stereotypes aren't true.
Stereotypes aren't true.
Stereotypes aren't true.
Stereotypes aren't true.
When that liquor get pour up and that green get